Welcome to NBA Top Shot Hot Drop, episode 19. It is March 20th, 2021, 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hope you guys are doing good out there. We have a great episode for you tonight after all the All-Star chaos has kind of cleared and the packs have been dropped and the market has been established. We are ready to get into that. The Rising Star Challenge is looking really interesting right now. So we're going to take a quick peek in on that. That reward is really nice. You got Anthony Edwards. And huge news in Los Angeles and Lakerland tonight. We have LeBron James going down with if you saw it, it's not good. I mean, if anybody's going to be okay, it's him, but ouch. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Then we're going to peek in on potential Rookie of the Year, LaMelo Ball, and the Hornets playing the Clippers. Little check in there. And then just to wrap up the podcast with a little reminder on the next pack drop and what we could be looking to see here. So remember to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter at NBA Top Shot Drop at DJDev420. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and the podcast on iTunes and Spotify. Let's get into it. Alright guys, hope you're doing good out there. We can get to the second segment here. All right, let's check out this All-Star Flux that happened yesterday. It's always interesting to kind of watch the patterns that we see with pack drops and how the market is affected, especially immediately after. You can see a giant, the prices are really high. There's not a lot of moments listed, and you get a really big, huge rush to the market. In a lot of moments, we're going for some crazy prices. So I'm going to go ahead up here and turn down this music just a little bit, guys. Sorry. One of the big ones was the LeBron came up there and was 5,000, I believe. So we're looking at, let's list this in the right order here. So I'm going to go, let's see, the highest ask is going to be the LeBron in this set. And right now it's at 3,300, you can see there. And that was easily going for 5,600 right after the market opened, after the packs were dropped. And you saw the Zion was up at 1,600. The Kyrie was at 800. The Joker was at 800. And the Harden was up at about 750, 800. So it was really interesting to watch the fluctuation in these moments. And then you started getting, the Paul George was up around 700, 800. And then you started seeing a bunch of them getting listed for a lot lower, and they went down. And if you guys were listening, I was targeting the Chris Paul, and that one went all the way from 800, and then this is interesting. It kind of did settle right around this 500 spot here. I'm curious to see what the serial number is for that. Yeah. So the Chris Paul was around 8, and then it dropped down, and you could nab a couple for 500 that were like low serial numbers, like 400 or 300. Some people got amazing deal. Let's go ahead and look at what the history's been today. So there you go. You got a number 67. But there was people there's a 520 for 340. So these are fairly low serial numbers, but you got to remember this is out of 20,021. So the single or the double digits is definitely where you want to try and be on this moment. But you saw these go in a lot of different directions, and the key to after pack drops is trying to get that low serial number for, you see this Chris Paul is at 500 here. You could have gotten a really low serial number right after the rush came and people started kind of going back to dropping it to try and get their moment sold, either to move into something else. Maybe they got their pack and they wanted to be able to get another one of these all-star moments, or they were worried about the market, maybe that moment dropping even more. But anyways, they've kind of stabilized now, and it's interesting when we go ahead and look at the reward challenges that are going. The all-star one is one of the lowest ones that's being completed at this point. Of course, it is one of the newest, but it's interesting that you're thinking about what the reward's going to be in there, and it's Giannis, right? It's that bank shot Giannis. So let's go ahead and look at the rising stars now. That was really interesting to me, mainly because the moments in there are really solid, and I think they're going to hold after the challenge. Some of them should hold really nicely after the challenge completes, but also the reward is just fabulous in this. So let's go ahead and pull the screen up for the Rising Stars Challenge. This was the previous rare pack drop that we had, and that reward right there is just, let's go ahead and watch it just for the juice of it. I mean, this is, and this guy, my big take on him right now, I'm gonna move this up for you. My big take on that for him is that he's potentially Rookie of the Year. I mean, we'll get to the Hornets game tonight, but he's coming, and that is no joke with Edwards right now. So that's the reward, and if you remember that is an absolute, back in the day we used to call that a poster, but that's a Top Shot. I mean, if that's a logo for Top Shot, that's it right there. So I think this reward is going to go on to be insane. Let's go back and look at the moments you do need to collect for this. And I do have that the Composo only currently. So you need the Mellow, which is the priciest one in there, and then the Wiseman, which is going to be around, I'm thinking it's 13 or 14, might be 16. We should check on that. Let's see. 14.50. So that's a pretty nice moment. And he, if you really look at the way the Warriors are using him, he is not a focus on this team at all. And we're going to see him. This is probably, as far as Wiseman, his rookie does run for a nice price right now, but you're going to see the payback on him probably next year when he becomes a major focal piece in that offense with a healthy Clay back. But I love that Wiseman moment. This is what I was saying. I think a lot of the moments that you're holding in here are going to pay off and be solid regardless. I like the Dort. The Rui is solid. The Keldon, I mean, he was just amazing tonight. I'm not going to get into that, but let's just look at that moment. Keldon had a huge game tonight. So the Mellow is the juicy one in the Rising Star, but again, that one is going to hold value. It's at 42. So I'm really thinking that that's the one to look at. And what we're gonna do over here now, as far as for a screenshot, let me go ahead and switch back to the camera here while I bring it up. We've got somebody who I've recommended you follow on Twitter before. I'm gonna bring up some of the research this guy does. He's just like makes it so easy to digest with his color charts and the way that he lays it out, and it's, you can tell it takes a lot of work and a lot of research to get the information that he's getting here for us. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up, this is from March 19th, so this is yesterday. So let's go ahead and see what we're looking at here. Just trying to see what song we got going. Alright, so this is the challenge tracker chart that he puts up. Greg Murray @ Greg Murray. Follow him on Twitter. You're going to get all of these amazing charts. And one of the keys here, for if you're doing any challenges or considering doing challenges, is the value of your reward is going to be seen in how many people are completing the challenge. And for the purpose of what we were looking up here, we were looking at the Rising Star Challenge. And you can see there are 458 people completing that at this point. 27 have jumped on in the past day. So there is a bit of an influx in that. 27% of the set is completed on that one. You can see the All-Star right here is, oh yeah, that one is actually pretty big. Which one was I seeing earlier that was lower? So yeah, the All-Star is actually pretty chunked out. You got 37 people have completed that with 3,347. So what I like to do is look at these challenges and go, which one is one of the lower ones? And we're going to see that reward be worth more, because the rewards are all based on who completes it. They haven't minted those rewards until we see who actually completes the challenge. So right now you can see the Seeing Stars challenge is the lowest, but that one is the newest challenge. The Connolly challenge is still got a bunch of days, 13.2. The Rising Stars has 11.2. The MGLE challenge is almost done, and there are 42% of the people. So you can see as we get an increase towards the challenge completing, also you're going to see people completing those. But a big reason to even be looking at that Rising Star challenge again is the reward. I think Edwards is just taking off, and it's just the beginning with him, and he's really taken a lot of pressure off of Karl Anthony Towns, which is really nice to see. And sky's the limit. He could steal Rookie of the Year here. We're going in a crazy direction with him. So let's get into some other stuff here. We've got pretty big news in NBA circles and playoff circles and MVP race with the LeBron James injury. So I do wanna get into that and just kind of see what caused that is really my big thing here. And I felt like with AD being out and the way that LeBron's been playing a ton of minutes and really pushing for it, and he's getting compliments and comments about the MVP, and he wants it. And I don't know if it's a thing of him being protected from himself or anything, but the grind is so intense, and we're not even to the playoffs yet. And they're coming off a championship run. And AD's been out for way longer than he should be at this point. It's been an extra 2 weeks almost. I think he was supposed to be back already. So let's take a look at this article on ESPN here. And he's out indefinitely. They did do x-rays, and we're waiting for the results on the MRI. it was really, really, I mean, he rolled on the ground. A guy dove for the loose ball, took his leg out from under him, Montrezl Harrell said. I really don't feel like it was one of those loose ball plays. He had to go through his leg to get to the ball, man. He was turned sideways. The ball was behind him. I mean, you're jumping at an ankle going across this way. I mean, I don't know how you feel. That's a loose ball. So, interesting comment there. Of course, it's from Montrez, but when I saw that too, you could see the way that he dove over his leg. And who was it again? Who dove on his leg? Solomon Hill. He lunges and leans his shoulder, and there's just a respect that you have with basketball players, and for us as basketball fans, and what we're watching LeBron do is very special. And this is massive. Doubtful he's going to be able to pull in this MVP. And really what we're looking at now is what could this potentially cause for their playoff position in the first round matchup. But here's a quote Solomon Hill tweeted. Let's see what the article says here. So he said, "I would never disrespect the game and take a player out purposely. He knows that. That's all that matters to me, praying for a speedy recovery." And I don't think it was that level. I don't think he was trying to take him out necessarily, but he was going for the ball at all costs. And there's just certain things in basketball where if you're going to go through a player like that, you don't go for the ball at all costs. You find a different way to get there. And if you can't, you don't. It's gruesome. Ankles are tough, and it went in a real funky way, and he was kind of on the tip of his toe as well. So you got to be looking at Joker now, making a big push there. Let's see what LeBron tweeted here. This is pretty cool. "Nothing angers and saddens me more than not being available to inform my teammates. I'm hurt inside and out right now. The road back from recovery begins now. Back soon, like I never left." I mean, that he knows. He knows this is massive. This is massive, and they were on such a huge run. So keep an eye on that. It's not really gonna. I mean, I guess it could minorly affect the top shot moments. If you're holding some LeBron moments, of course, if he wins MVP, they go through the roof. So one thing I will just button up the LeBron message there is I would not put it out against him that he would come back even and be fine. The guy's a monster and he's so strong. So let's keep an eye on that. And bummer for LeBron, and some real bad news for Solomon House. I mean, he doesn't need that pub, man. So I was checking in on the Hornets game and Clippers. I love watching these rookies and seeing how they're doing. And we got to see LaMelo Ball injure his wrist tonight on a drive to the hoop. And his stats were really, really bad. Really, really tough tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and bring those up for you. The Charlotte Hornets lost 98-125 to the Clippers. The Clippers needed a win like that. They've been having a rough run, as you know, but LaMelo Ball, 4 for 12 and 1 for 4 from 3-point, 13 points. He only had 2 assists and only played 22 minutes. So tough night for the Rook, and really the rest of the team had a really rough night. Look at that. P.J. Washington, 3 for 10, 0 for 2 from 3-pointer. That's a big problem with this Hornets team is consistency. And then you got Bismack, 3 for 4. You're really not getting anything out of the center position. He cannot just be getting 7 rebounds. It's just ridiculous. The whole team was really bad from rebounding as well. I mean, they were horrible tonight. But you want to go ahead and look at Kawhi. He was 6 for 13, 17 points, 31 minutes. He had 4 steals. The claw was out. Paul George, amazing. The key for Paul George is that he needs to show up in the playoffs. I think that is a moment that you do want to be checking out on Top Shot. There's some Paul George moments to be had, but overall there's a lot of Clipper moments to be had. Kawhi as well. So feel those out before we get rolling in the playoffs here. These Clippers are not messing around. They've been up and down. They're going to make a move before the trade deadline's done here. Listen to the previous podcast. We did touch on the potential trade options for them. They need a point guard. So tough night for LaMelo. He did hurt his wrist. He has slowed down a little bit. His minutes has been down. And that's why I'm just looking at this Anthony Edwards movement, that he could potentially swoop in there and snag this Rookie of the Year. And you see his moment right now, his rookie moment out of 4,000 is right under that LaMelo moment. So make sure you pick up your Edwards if you haven't got one yet. There is the Series 2 moment out as well. That's just beautiful. He dunks over Wiseman. And make sure you watch him. He's so fun to watch, and that Timberwolves team is actually doing all right, and I feel good for Towns getting some help there. So we are going to touch on the end of the podcast here with something that we all like to get excited about, and that's a pack drop that should be coming pretty soon here. We're in the weekend, and it's Saturday night. We're probably looking at a couple more days, and I could see another stress test potentially coming just to get ready for a Cool Cats drop, because they need to get this next Cool Cats drop out, because this LaMelo challenge is waiting in the wings, and it's going to be huge. And if it's timed really nice, it's gonna be really close to when the Rookie of the Year awards could be coming out. So keep an eye out for that. Have your Dapper credits ready. The pack should only be 14, I believe, for the Cool Cats, and the stress test will be 9. That'll only be a 5,000 pack drop, unless they decide to do another base pack drop, but I doubt it. I think they really have to focus on getting this next Cool Cats drop out. So that's exciting. We got more packs. It's been a while for me. I know a lot of you as well. The percentages are low. So hope you're having fun out there. Remember to follow me on Twitter, NBA Top Shot Drop at DJDev420, and subscribe to the channel NBA Top Shot Drop, also on iTunes and Spotify. So appreciate your support. Please hit that like button, notification button, and subscribe. And remember to enjoy it.